Hey guys, how's it going? It's back on the 21st here. I was on a little bit earlier. It's only on for an hour. Um, I just want to put an important announcement regarding what's going on as far as... Whoops, that ain't it. I don't know what the hell that is. Let's try this again. Okay. So... there is an idea thread, single player and share idea, that right now it looks like only Scott and myself have been the only ones participating. Not too long ago we had a few people that were up for everything, waiting for this to happen, waiting for that to happen. All this talk of wanting to see something, and I'm getting to the point right now where I'm becoming out of my patience as far as I'm at my wit's end. So I'm not doing this to entertain. I'm not doing this to stroke my ego. I'm not doing this to hear my voice crackle and get sore throats, because that's really what's been happening lately. Is I'm just talking and I've just been venting, and I'm sick of it. I want to have some fun again. And I've been posting on this forum quite a bit. People want to know how to port forward. I found articles. I have been doing the best I can to try to put that information, to try to be positive, to try to come up with ideas. Scott and I just emailing back and forth isn't going to do any good. It's only going to be between him and I. So... this is, either we get on the same page or we come up with something that, is going to, I'm not saying please, it doesn't have to please everybody, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm willing to go on to something if somebody has an idea. But when people say they're up for anything and then you put something and then nobody's around or nobody wants to continue the conversation, then it gets really frustrating, quite frankly. So I'm going to reply to this right live. And basically, this is how it's going to come down. Here are my next live streams that I anticipate on testing my Run8 version 2 server. I've done this twice already. It's failed both times. If I go into what my IP address is, now I'm not a 24/7 server. So if I go in, what is my IP? This is what it's been. It was this the other night. This could change. If it changes, I will update within the live stream, or I'll update in this forum. So I'm going to be doing a live stream. Okay, now I already said what I was going to be doing. Anticipating on my Run8 server. So tomorrow, Thursday, I'm going to be for 1 hour after 9 p.m. So tomorrow night, 1 hour after 9 p.m. should be on. I usually see my son between 5 and 9 p.m. Thursdays. Same bat time, yeah. Same bat channel. It's just an old, if you guys don't know what that reference is, it's Batman. And then Monday, 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. Okay, so this is it for me. I'm tired of bitching about Run8. I've gotten to the point where it doesn't matter. Run8's in their own little bubble, doing their own thing. It's their game, it's their software. They can do whatever the hell they want. They can go on whatever forums they want. They can have whatever friends they want. I don't care. They have made some changes. They've actually done some things, some of my ideas, but a lot of people have ideas. So I know that. But if you say you haven't tried to spin the idea that a version 3 is coming, that was supposed to be coming at the end of last year or the beginning of this year or something like that, and say, and not reach out to everybody, not just your friends, your friendly sites, not just forget your website. Your website's not even updated. Your website says diddly squat about version 3. There is little to no interest in Run8 from my perspective. I mean, there is interest in Run8 from the people who love Run8, who know it's the best simulator out there, who realize that all the competition sucks. I mean, what the hell's Railworks? Like, what the hell is that? A bunch of eye candy? They've actually come out with another version of that garbage? Do they seem passionate? Do they seem like they're actually putting out a serious simulation? They could care less. They're out there for the money. I know the guys at Run8 aren't. I would imagine, as if they're as passionate as they say they are. I think they just get their feelings hurt a little bit too much. And I've been there. I'm the same way. You call your baby ugly? Well, yeah, they're gonna take some offense to it. And they're a small company. I get it. But if I'm supposedly a thorn in their side, or if others like me are a thorn in their side, you haven't been listening to it. It's the praise that I've given you guys. You haven't listened to how many times I've gone to bat for you guys. How many times I've said that you guys are the best simulator on the planet. You still are, even as imperfect as it is right now. The problem is there's so much potential, and yet here we are. We're coming into the fall now of 2019, and Train Sim Forum is dead again. It's a freaking joke fest over on the Train Sim World forum, and yet something like OpenRails and OpenRails and Microsoft Train Simulator are somehow still relevant in 2019? Are you kidding me? Why is that? Is it because I don't know why that is. I guess it's because people at least can do something about it. People can actually go in and do something. We got no power. We're powerless. All we can do is put servers up and hope that people come aboard, and hope we get enough people to run sessions, and hope you've got enough people that can run the jobs. If it's as real as it gets, guess what? California is too freaking big. And yet we just keep expanding. So okay, so we keep expanding. Great. Might be great for some people. It ain't great for me. And it's not great for the smaller servers. You got the Southwest server right now that says they're not going to change. They're going to continue to run every route, and yet they can't even have enough people switching their jobs to do sessions. Now they're going to come up with some ideas, so that's great. This is going to be. I hope this is my last rant because I'm so tired of wasting my energy on this. And I kind of ranted the other day. And I decided not to do it, but this one I'm going to let this one go because I'm live now, I'm on, I don't care. I am so tired of trying. And I get it. I've tried things and I've stopped them. I've tried things and I've stopped them. I've stalled so many times. I'm not a developer. I'm not selling anything. I'm doing this totally for free. I'm doing this for myself. I'm just trying to get some people that are going to come along for the ride other than maybe one or two people. I mean, I had 13. I've never had more than 13 people on a server. It was. I was an unlucky number 13. I don't know why. The writing was on the wall. That's why I gave up the Southwest server. I wanted to go to something else. It just wasn't inspiring anymore. It was becoming more and more of a job. Because despite and this was back, I think, in version 1. This was before version 2. When version 2 came out, there was some hope because, okay, we had AI. There was even a schedule system which seemed appealing. So there's all these really cool things and real cool potential, but then everything just kind of slowed down. It seemed like the small company was getting bigger, or at least there's more people on their little roster of their team or whatever, and yet somehow they seem to be becoming more of a club of their own little group or whatever. And we've seen some of the biggest servers come and go because of personal differences or whatever, or clashes with the team and all this other garbage. And I was nowhere near the biggest server, but I was the first server. And I got on board because the potential. I was introduced to this. This was exactly what I was looking for. What is it, 6-7 years ago now? I don't know how long it's been. I keep saying 5, but I know it's got to be close to 6 or 7 by now that Run8 has been around, or at least part of my life. And it's really, I put it to the side for a while and tried to do other things, but I always wanted to come back. And every time I come back, it's like I know what the potential of Run8 could be, but no matter how many ideas I come up with, eventually they're just fixes. They're just little hot fixes. Eventually it's waiting for something. It's waiting for something else to come along to make it even better. Meanwhile, the buzz around Run8 has diminished. If I could really, and I mean truly, have enough talent and ability and a team of people that could develop a train simulator, believe you me, I would be doing it. I would have done it a long time ago. I would have stopped bitching a long time ago. And there was times where I wanted to do it. I just didn't have the energy. I work for a living. I have a son. Maybe in a couple of years when I don't see my son as much and he's busy with girlfriends or something like that, he's not getting any younger, maybe I'll have more time. But right now, I don't have the energy for it. I barely have the energy to figure out what the hell I want to do with myself at night, other than just relax and watch stupid YouTube and do stupid live streams like this, to be quite honest. So this is where it's all coming down to, as far as I'm concerned. I've tried different programs. Some have been better than others. I'm sure there's other I'm sure I'll find something else. If it isn't Run8, I'll find something else. One way or another, I'll look around. There's a lot of different programs out there that it's just there's no other train simulator for me other than Run8. I do not know of anything else that would keep me interested. I got rid of Microsoft, or I stopped using Microsoft Train Simulator long before, or I shouldn't say long before, but shortly before I got into Run8. But I had already was getting sick of Microsoft Train Simulator for probably 2 years prior to Run8. I was tired of writing activities and doing my own, just playing my own activities basically. I was tired of that. So this is what my timeline is coming up. I need to test to see if a server works, first and foremost. If it works, that means it is now at least under my control. So if it fails, or if I decide to pull the plug on it, ultimately then fine, I own that. But I'm willing to give it a chance. It's the best option that I can think of right now. I'm willing to give it a chance. I'm not going to promise anything. If you come aboard, I'm not promising anything. What I'm saying is I first of all need to know that the server will work, and it will work under my internet conditions. Because my internet conditions right now in 2019 is not what they once were. I am under shared internet. I'm not under my own internet anymore. So the connection is not going to be that great. But I believe, or I'm hoping at least, that the connection will be strong enough to at least host and support and not cause too many issues with the server, or even if I'm a client, cause issues with other people's servers. From what I understand, I've been on a server in New Zealand, or sorry, not New Zealand, Australia, New Zealand. I can't remember. I get these guys mixed up all the time. I'm pretty sure it's Australia. I'll be corrected if I'm wrong about that. But Smiley, I think he's in Australia. I always get him confused with Australia and New Zealand. But I've been on his server, and it seems to be just fine. I don't think I've ever been dropped off of that. The only time I run into issues is with streaming services. It just can't handle the bandwidth. So as far as Run8 goes, I think I'm okay. I just have to make sure I can host. And my setup is a little bit weird right now because I got Wi-Fi, I've got everything going on, so I have to make sure. This is not going to be a 24/7 server. But if I can host, and if I can find a schedule that works for me, that works for others, then I'm willing to keep the server up. And then we'll see what happens. Will it be available 24/7? Absolutely not. But I'll give it a shot. And we'll see what happens. But in order for that to happen, I'm going to need people to, if you're interested, if you want to try this out, just even if you're not interested, if you want to just help me out, if you're watching me, and you got the southeast, if you got the southeast road tomorrow, okay, about 9 p.m. Eastern, like I said, I'll be on Sunday, same time. Might not be right on at 9. It could be 9:15, maybe 9:30. It shouldn't be too much later than that. If there is any issues, I will reply in this forum here. And Monday, I have plenty of opportunity between 6 and 11. I usually see my son for about an hour at some point, usually around 7 p.m. So likely it'll be sometime in prime time between 8 and 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And of course, it's going to depend upon how much interest there is in the test prior have worked, and we'll see how it goes. This whole forum and all the recent posts that are in it, we're talking about ideas. We're trying to get stuff. This is the only one that I have. It's a Sanford sub. It's the only one that I know of that you can run long mainline runs. There's plenty of switching available, and there's not it's take it or leave it switching is what I call it. So some of the jobs take a while, but they don't have to be completed. It doesn't matter if they're not. The goal is to try to get a manifest supply train spawned up per day. If I don't do it every day, it's not the end of the world, but I'm going to try it and see what happens. At least every 24 hours of server life, try to get a train in there. I'll probably try to schedule a call time and see how it goes, but depending upon demand and all that, but we'll see. So anyways, I'm losing my voice again, and that's about it. So I'm gonna go try to do some things, try to relax and have some fun for the rest of the night, and yeah, hopefully that's my last chance, or that's my last ditch effort, at least for now, until something changes on the Southwest or something changes in Run 8. This is it, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not trying to be over dramatic, but I was gone for most of the year. My son was sick. He was the priority. I didn't care about Run 8. I didn't care about anything like that. And quite frankly, I was bored of Run 8 at that point anyways. I was bored at it for a long time. I was waiting to see what was going to happen at the end of last year. I'm not going to be waiting much longer. We got fall coming up. My summer has just flown by because my son just recovering, getting through vacations and all that other stuff. I mean, I lost a lot of time this year that my son and I could have done. So I'll be damned if I'm going to give up my fall, unless I have some real good reason to do it. So we'll see what happens, but it was kind of disappointing because there's a lot of people here who have been talking a lot about, hey, I'm up to everything, I'm up to doing anything. Well, let's see. We got one concurrent viewer. The other night we had all kinds of people on here. So I'm here now. But am I going to be here much longer? I don't know. It's up to you guys at this point. This is it. Those are the times I'm going to be hosting. That's the IP address. If you don't have first of all, don't go out and get the Southeast server on my account. I wouldn't even trust myself right now. Okay? Do not get that route just based on this little idea that I have. This is just an idea that I'm throwing out there. Okay? But if you have it, great. If you don't, just say you don't have it. Then if you have other ideas, don't say you're up for anything. If you're up for anything, then okay, that means you got all the routes and you're ready to go. If you only have California, just say, sorry, I only have California. But let's communicate. Let me know what you guys have. Then I can get an idea as to, okay, here's what people are up for, and here's what people are serious for. Because if we're just going to talk crap and we're not going to do anything, it's just wasting my time. So I'm on this forum every day. Every day I'm checking this forum. It's my forum. It's been dead for a while, but I'm trying my best to communicate. I'm trying my best to reach out there and be available to the community. I have very few people left. A lot of that's my fault. A lot of that is just inactivity. but I've been burnt out of Run 8 for far too long. And this is the one spark that I have of interest that's left in it. If it goes now, it may never come back. And I'm not trying to be dramatic about it, but this is it. I mean, fall's coming. I can't stress how important these next few days are going to be. I'm going to have fun this weekend with my son. We're going to be doing all kinds of things. It's the last full weekend before Labor Day. You know, as far as next week, if this doesn't work, hey, at least I tried. That's all I can say. I can always look back on this and say, at least I've tried. I posted this 19 minutes ago. 42, there's some emotional stuff in here. Scott had posted. Unfortunately, he wasn't around. But, it shouldn't be up to just Scott. It shouldn't be just me and Scott. This should be a community thing. And if you have a server, or if you're in the same boat, or if you give a damn, or whatever, even if you don't, even if you don't have the same ideas, but you want to do something, let me know. Let me know. Start the conversation. I'm putting the conversation out there. I've been putting it out here for the past couple of weeks, trying to get, look at all these posts that I've done recently. And it's just there's this post here that came up from a Phantom user, and this was something that Anya posted. I don't know when he posted. Whoops. Anya posted this message: "Is sound causing issues?" So somebody's going back into old threads. Look at this. Somebody was replying to a 2017 thread. Well, here's what's currently going on. If you go to recent wiki activity, here's what's been going on. So Sanford's about single player and share idea. News and announcement. There's 12 messages in there. Smiley server's notes. So stuff is going on Smiley server. So if you're interested in server, the only people that are on Smiley server right now are talking about Smiley server, from what I can see, are Smiley, Scott, and there was myself, but I decided, no, I'm not sticking around because it's just not for me. At least he tries. He's still got a 24/7. I've posted what I'm up against. No replies. Preparing for fall. 2 message. Talking to myself. Nothing. Concepts. We had a lot of concept messages a while back. Here. Let me go through them. So, with the Southwest server on hold, I'm stuck waiting for something to happen. I know the feeling. So am I. I'm waiting for Run 8 to happen. So, I mean, there's ideas here. So I understand that, there's various time things and all this other stuff. Okay. But maybe I can put a server up in the middle of the night if that works. Or if that's something. I understand. Not everybody's on the same. So 2 a.m. PST, that puts it at about 5 a.m. Eastern. So I don't know if Scott can come, and that was, so that's Bill G. Okay, that's cool. Maybe there isn't as much interest as I thought. There's 2 there. Somebody who can't host a server, understood. No, the port forwarding not work. What is port forwarding? Blah blah blah. So I've replied in other threads what that's all about. So, I mean, I'm trying my best to get the conversation going. I understand not everybody is available in the Eastern time zone at this time. Not everybody has the Southeast as well. But I need to know what I'm up against. If not everybody has the Southeast, I need to know. If there's other times that give me a group of times or whatever, I can leave a host on as a test overnight, but I need to know. I need to know whether or not people are into this or not. Just because, like, normally I shut down my computer at night, but I could technically leave the server on because we have people from all over the world that could potentially join. And most, normally I wouldn't put it on or whatever, but I can have it up in the morning. I can check to see if people were on. If there's any kind of movement or development, then that's great. So I was talking about Syracuse a while back. I've been talking about a lot of things and trying to. So this has been going on. So there was talking about the official Run 8 content updates. I'm talking way too much now because it's all here. You just go to this site, railroadtransportationsimulator.fandom.com, or go to .wikia.com, and it'll redirect you to it. You can post anonymously, it doesn't matter. But right now there's hardly any conversation going on the Southwest Forum because I guess we're waiting till September. There's in a flux or change or something like that. He's got some personal things that he has to deal with the move and all that. So we should be knowing at least what's going on with the Southwest server come September. By that time, that'll be my ultimate decision. Am I going to host? Am I going to join? Am I going to go back to that server? Is it going to be able to appeal to me again? Because it hasn't appealed to me for a while. So we'll have to wait and see. And there's no other server out there that really appeals to me. There's just not enough people and not enough. It doesn't matter how popular you are. It's not as real as it gets because there's way too much territory to cover to do the things that you have to do. This is why I thought Sanford would be a good project because at least it's a long main line. There's plenty of switching available, but it's not prerequisite switching. So it allows you to go in, have one train a day go one way, one train a day go the other. The rest is all optional. If you switch the yard, if you decide to run a switcher out, that's great as long as you finish the switcher. That's the only thing. If a switcher goes, the switcher has to finish. It doesn't have to be done by one person, but eventually that switcher has to come back. So otherwise, the return train doesn't have any cars to take with you, basically. So, but that's why I'm trying to fill up the industries right now, and we'll see what happens. But that's all I can do right now, and we're talking about sharing the host duties, possibly sharing save files. So if we're not 24/7, what we might be able to do is if you can't host, you can't host, but others like Scott, myself, hopefully myself, would be able to host. Then we can use this form or something to at least indicate to others, a schedule as far as when hosting is going to be available. There's not going to be any complex. I don't think there's going to be anything complex about it. It's just going to be self-running. Might try to do a call time for that train to, that way it runs at or around a certain time of day. If there's no crew available, well then that's okay. And let the server run, the clock can run. Of course, obviously AI is going to have to pause because if there's nobody to dispatch, then everything has to stop. But when somebody comes on and runs, then they start running and the trains, and things start spawning, things start going, and away you go. But anyways, I'm yapping way too much, so I'm gonna end this now. Go have some fun. That way I can sleep tonight. I had a good night's sleep last night, so. Anyways, guys, yeah, nothing much going on. Just me ranting by the looks of it. I think I'm live. I should be live. According to me, I'm live, but who knows? Okay, guys, have a good one. And yeah, if you can help out, if you have any questions and concerns, whatever, go to the forum, let me know. Talk to you later.